Yo, what's going on, everybody? My name is not Alex Thomas. My name is Tyler, aka Mind of a Nerd, and welcome to another episode of Nerd Talk. Obviously, y'all know me, Mind of a Nerd, aka Tyler. Alex is not here tonight, but we will be hosting our 49th episode of Nerd Talk. Next week will be the big 50, which is crazy to think about. Next week is going to be a big show
It
because
is.
of what we got next week. But we tonight have a lot to talk about. I am joined by our semi co-host, semi not co-host, who's here a
Right.
lot. AJ reacts to what is going on, man.
What's up, man? I am excited to get into our topics today. I'm excited to talk about Last of Us. I'm excited to just be on here chatting it up. So let's get into it.
I'm it feels weird. I'm in the enterprise chair, if you will.
Yes, you
I
hold
got
the
I,
power in your hands.
I got the power, the intros and all that stuff. But everyone who's here, man, what's going on? What is going on? It's a Tuesday, February 7th, 1 week away from Valentine's Day, the day that men crutch their wallets and say I'm sorry. You know, what's going on though?
Women say that you need to do that on a daily.
Yeah, you got 5 people in here. What's going on? What's going on? Comment free, ask us questions, all that, and we are going to get into Nerd Talk episode 49. This is not going to be a long one because honestly, half of this stuff is kind of made up, kind of not. A slow week for movie news. The main thing we're going to talk about is Last of Us. So we're gonna start with the smaller stuff, and then The Last of Us is gonna take up most of this. So let's get into it. Starting with something that me and AJ are very excited for. Star Wars Visions Season 2 has officially been announced for a May the 4th release date. For people who don't know, Star Wars Visions is essentially a group of shorts made by anime studios, and they're basically anime anthology shorts based off or inspired by Star Wars. They're unfortunately not canon, but they are based off Star Wars lore. And it feels like forever since we got season 1. It was like 2021,
Yeah,
but the back half.
2021.
And
Mhm.
I absolutely, other than like one of the shorts, maybe two of them, I absolutely loved Star Wars Visions. I thought the animation was absolutely stunning. Some of the stories we got were absolutely phenomenal, and I wish they were canon, especially the ones with lightsabers. Like, you will never look at a lightsaber the same way after watching Star Wars Visions.
That twins
And
episode, man. Come on.
yeah. And we finally got the announcement for season 2. They've been like fluctuating, like, oh, it was supposed to come out last year, and they're like, no, it's coming out next year. And we are like, oh. And
Mhm.
they announced the studios, and I think most of these anime studios are unknown or not known studios, which
Yeah,
is
not
interesting
huge. Mhm.
because for volume 1 they had like Studio Trigger among like a lot of them. And this is interesting that they're getting smaller studios. And I think even the studio that does the Wallace and Gromit, they said that they were going to do one, which is weird to me. But I don't
Wow.
think it's going to be stop motion. I mean, if it's stop motion, it could be. I mean, the animation's going to look cool. I don't know how it's
Mhm.
going to look though. But
Yeah, lightsabers and stop motion. It's gonna look like Robot Chicken.
yeah, Robot Chicken. Um, but I'm ecstatic for this. Honestly, Star Wars Visions is probably my favorite thing that Disney has done with Star Wars. If I'm gonna be honest, it feels, even though it's not canon, it feels the most unique, creative, and energetic, and that's what I want. And most of the Star Wars that we've done has not felt unique. That's the
Mhm.
main thing. I can watch Star Wars Visions, be like, wow, this is so different. Even Mandalorian, I love season 2, but that season relied a lot on nostalgia.
Mhm.
Visions is purely like original stuff, original characters, original stories, and I'm pumped for Star Wars Visions. AJ, how do you feel about this?
Um, you had captured a lot of my emotions towards this announcement, and I'm pumped. I think you were a lot more invested than I was, but I do really enjoy Visions. I did. I sat there when it came out. I sat there and watched it all in one setting. I need to revisit it. But like you said, when you watch these different Disney Plus series, like you don't get that authentic and unique perspective on Star Wars because it feels a lot the same. A lot of it feels the same, and this is unique. It's fresh. It's got these animation, this animation styles, different animation styles each episode. It's awesome. I think it was maybe 2 or 3 episodes where I was just like, it was okay, but for the most part, it was pretty awesome.
I know the two were the concert one. There was a concert one,
Concert one,
and then there was one with a droid. There was one with a droid that I didn't like. I was like, eh.
I think the finale for me, I didn't love. I didn't really love the last episode. It was like a western, like a country western episode.
I remember every episode with a lightsaber I liked. So I definitely remember that, and I think there were probably a couple of them that I liked too. But I'm pumped beyond belief. If anyone has seen Star Wars Visions in the chat, let us know how you guys feel. Are you guys excited for Star Wars Visions? I need a trailer now, please.
If you were to give season 1 a score, what would you give it out of 5?
A strong 4, maybe a 4.5.
Okay. I would probably give it around the same. I give it like 4.
I love that. It felt like such a breath of fresh air for Star Wars. It really did.
I agree.
I was kind of heartbroken because there was a rumor that they weren't gonna do this. Mm-hmm. I remember that, and I was like, "Damn, bro!" Like, I just hope that maybe there's a chance they make some of this canon. I doubt it, but I don't know, because some of this should be.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like? Do you ever want this series to end? Like, okay, this is good enough. Or do you want it to like go on forever?
I feel like, honestly, yeah, I know everyone. Why? I feel like this is like a what if situation where it's like you can do it for as long as you want. Mm-hmm. It's just making it up. If it's not canon, does it really matter? You can just do what you want. It's the same thing with what if, but what if is canon. So, but even what if, you can make 8 seasons of what if you really wanted to. There's millions of comic books where you can do what if, we're supposed to be getting what if season 2 this year too, which I don't know if people really.
We haven't heard much. Yeah, we haven't heard a whole lot about that.
I don't know, but Visions. I need a trailer. I need to see what I'm getting into in May.
Yes,
I'm very excited. It's an exciting time for Star Wars fans. We got Mando coming back in less than a month. Jedi Survivor is coming out in April, which I'm hyped for. And then
Visions, Bad Batch.
Yeah, we're eating good, bro. Too bad we can't eat good with the movies, but
Yeah, like I don't even know what the next Star Wars film is gonna be.
It's supposed to be Taika Waititi's movie. I don't know what's going on.
I know, but we haven't really gotten much from that.
So. I don't know. Maybe he's under hot water after Love and Thunder. Maybe they're like,
Disney's like, Taika, we might need to put you in the back seat for now.
Bro, go sit with Patty Jenkins, bro. She's supposed to be making.
Nah, he's not as bad as Patty Jenkins.
Nah, bro, but he gonna be sitting with her because she on the back burner for Rogue Squadron too. I don't know what's going on.
She all the way in the back, bro.
She in the back.
You can't even see her.
Yeah, bro.
You can't even see Patty.
Mike is like, listen, like, bro, you did Wonder Woman 84, but people still kind of like my movie. Nobody liked that shit. At least people came to a theater to see my movie. What, did you watch your movie at home? All right. Let us know if you guys are excited for Star Wars Vision Season 2. And we are moving on to the next topic, which is that Michael B. Jordan announces more from the Creed franchise. Yay. Okay. So this weekend, Michael B. Jordan had announced Creed 4 is happening. So we know Adonis isn't dying in this movie. Not that I thought he would, but So Creed 4 is happening, and he said that there's also going to be more spin-offs in this universe, I guess. And that led people to believe, like, well, what are they gonna do? I think if they want to bring the Dragos back, they could do something with Drago. Would I be interested in that? No. Um, am I even interested in a Creed 4? No. Um, I am excited for Creed 3. Don't mistake me for that. I'm very excited for Creed 3. It's just I kind of wish we would have waited till after Creed 3 came out to make this announcement.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Because it's like, okay, so you're telling us you have faith in him, assuming that he's going to keep directing these movies.
Mm-hmm.
But I just wish that we had seen Creed 3 and see what he could do first before you go and say, yeah, we're gonna make more. Because
and to see where the story leaves us, is it even worth, bringing this like making this a franchise? Like, is it worth that?
Someone said, oh, what if Creed 3 ends with Jonathan Majors beating him, and then the fourth movie he has to fight him again? I was like, okay.
Isn't that what they did with Rocky 2?
No, it's Rocky 1 and then 2.
That's what I'm saying. Didn't they do that with the first and second Rocky?
Yeah.
Yeah. They did
but
the same
it would
thing.
be reversed, because it would be that the good person loses in the first movie and then the bad he wins.
Creed won in the first movie.
Oh yeah, he did.
He did.
Oh, well, okay, no. It would be reversed because the good person would have the belt, and then he'd lose the belt, and then he has to win it back.
Okay, yeah.
So basically, it'd be 2 movies of Rocky 3. But I'm not mad about this. It's just, it's one of those, like, okay, and we did get a tease. I don't think this is really going to go nowhere, but we have gotten the tease in the trailer that his daughter is going to box. I don't know if they're going to go that way and make it like Rocky 5. I pray to Jesus they don't make it like Rocky 5.
That might be what they do, bro.
I don't know. How you feeling about all of this, though?
I have only seen the first Rocky, so I don't have as strong feelings as some folks might. I haven't seen any of the Creeds either yet. I am doing a reaction series. A quick plug: I'm doing a reaction series on my channel. So throughout the month, I'm going to be watching all the Rocky and Creed films and reacting to them. So by the end of that, and when we see Creed 3, I'll have more of a more thoughts on it. For now, like you said, I think we should have gotten this announcement after the movie was released, maybe like a good few weeks or month, because like I said, I don't know where this story is going to leave us in Creed 3. So is it even going to be worth a part 4 and other spinoffs and all that? I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell at this point.
That sounds like Amazon talking to me, to be honest with you.
For real, with the giving Rings of Power 2 seasons before the first season even comes out.
I don't know. I'm even after Creed 2, I really like Creed 2. I was kind of ready for the series to be done, but then when they had announced what Creed 3 was going to be, I was like, okay, if they don't do what people said and they don't bring over Jonathan Majors again, I really don't know what they're going to do. And that it doesn't really excite me. It doesn't really interest me.
Yeah, that's the whole reason they should have waited.
Especially since I don't think Sylvester Stallone is going to be in these movies anymore, because he had a whole falling out with MGM over this nonsense.
Well, I didn't even know that Rocky was still alive. So
he is. He's in the first 2 Creed movies.
I knew he was in the first one, but I thought he died in that one.
No, he's in the second one. Okay. But he had a whole falling out with MGM over rights, and I was like, okay. Part of me, some of us were suspecting he wanted to do I don't think he wanted to do this, but something along the lines of bringing in Mr. T from Rocky 3 to and making Jonathan Majors his son. or whatever.
Oh.
And everyone was like, well, it's good that this movie is not going to have ties to the other movies. That's what we've wanted. Creed is his own person. Let him be his own person.
Yeah.
Most of us are happy that it is his movie. There's nobody from Rocky. Well, I don't think. I know somebody from Creed 2 is going to be in this movie. I don't know if his father's going to be in this movie, but we'll see about that. But I this news was kind of puzzling to me. I was like, okay, I guess.
Too soon. Doesn't Amazon own MGM?
Yeah, that's why I said it sounds like Amazon.
Okay, yeah. They stay doing that. They need to be careful.
And then what if Michael B. Jordan says, "Oh, I don't want to do this no more"?
Exactly.
If he says that, I really don't give a fuck because
they're gonna make the daughter the next Creed, bro.
Oh God,
that's how it's gonna be Creed 4.
That don't sound interesting at all. But yeah. If you guys have any thoughts on this, and you guys like the Creed movies, dislike the Creed movies, dislike the Rocky movies, love the Rocky movies, let us know down below. And we're gonna move on to our next topic, which fucking Blumhouse. Five Nights at Freddy's is going to be a trilogy? ? So, for those who don't know, Matthew Lillard, the man who, for some reason, has everyone obsessed over him. I don't care. I love me some.
I'm about to say, what you talking about?
I love me some Matthew Lillard, but he announced that he signed a 3-movie deal for Five Nights at Freddy's over at Blumhouse. For those who don't know, Five Nights at Freddy's is being turned into a live-action horror movie from Blumhouse. Five Nights at Freddy was a mobile game that essentially you sit in a room watching cameras, waiting for little fuckers to come, and if they find you, they kill you, basically. I never played the mobile version. The only familiarity I have with this franchise is I've seen the characters numerous times. I've seen all their creature designs. They do look creepy. I'll give them that. And I played the VR version of Five Nights at Freddy's on the PlayStation, and it actually was pretty terrifying. Like, it was really scary. Do I think this movie will recapture that? No. But, you know, that is what's happening. Too much. I was not excited for a Five Nights at Freddy's movie at all to begin with. I feel like it's just too late, way too late. Especially since we got Willy's Wonderland in 2021, which
the banana splits, bro. We got banana splits too.
And well, I heard people kind of like the Banana Splits movie.
It's like, yeah, it's kind of like one of those cult movies.
Yeah, but people love Willy's Wonderland, man. Movie's not good. I'm sorry. It's just, you know, that was supposed to be our taste, and I don't think this movie's gonna be like Willy's Wonderland. I think this movie's going to embrace the wackiness more. It definitely won't have a main actor that doesn't say anything. You know, it's just the thing with Five Nights at Freddy's to me is it is scary. Like, it is scary. It's not something where it's like, oh yeah, this is really dumb. Kids were scared by this. It is scary. It can be scary. But will it be scary? No.
And for a trilogy?
That's a whole nother thing I'm gonna get into in a second. I'm gonna fucking go off. But I just think it's too late. It's the same thing with Slenderman. They waited way too long to make a Slenderman movie. They made Slenderman at a time where nobody even remembered what Slenderman was. People saw that trailer for Slenderman and they saw what he was like. I was like, oh, that's Slenderman. Okay.
Oh, yeah. That was like 5 years ago, wasn't it, when they was talking about that?
We got a couple people in here. Let's say what's up. We got Damien, Mr. 4K King. What's going on? Alex is not here. I think he's probably watching. I don't know. Emmett, what will you two do on Valentine's Day? Oops. I will be working and going to school and coming home and being miserable. I don't know what else you're doing.
That sounds like a day in the life of Tyler, bro.
Yep.
I don't really have any set plans yet, but I know we'll probably go out to dinner. Stacy and I will go out to dinner, and
That's what's up. We got Stu Media. What's going on, Mr. Stu?
Mr. Stu.
Alec Paper, what's going on? Yo. Yes, sir. I have it reserved. It's ready for pickup. I just can't go get it until Friday. But I do technically have it, yes. But I do not have it physically. No.
I will get it eventually.
I remember Five Nights at Freddy's from Game Theory YouTube channel. Yeah, see, Five Nights at Freddy was the shit when I was in grade school. You know when I was in grade school? In 2013, bro.
Yeah.
By the time this movie comes out, it will be 2024 or 25.
And then you got to think about the other two movies. When are those coming out?
I don't know what is in the water at Blumhouse. They come up with these ideas for these horror movies. They say, we want to make this horror movie. And they say, okay. But I don't want to make one. No. That would be nonsensical. Making one good movie? Oh, no. We're going to make 3. Instead of making one good movie, we're going to make 3. Yeah, because it worked out so well for Halloween, right? Man, I can't wait for the Exorcist trilogy.
That's supposed to be a trilogy?
Yes. Yes, it's 3 movies.
Blumhouse.
I don't get it. I don't get why. What is the point of greenlighting? First of all, granted, the only way I would be okay with a trilogy is if every movie is different and it's an anthology. You can do that with Five Nights at Freddy. So if you do that, I'm fine with that. Are they going to do that? No, because Matthew Lillard signed a 3-movie deal. And you're not going to get asses in the seats without Matthew Lillard in that movie.
Is he starring in it?
He's
starring. Oh, okay.
I think somebody else was too. I know it was Matthew Lillard and somebody else that everyone was like, oh, shoot. Five Nights. Josh Hutcherson. Josh Hutcherson was the other one. When I was like,
Hutcherson is going to be in this movie?
Yes, Josh Hutcherson.
Interesting choice.
I don't know. I just think it's way too late. It's way too late. There are some people that care, but is it enough? No.
Nah.
What are you guys saying about this? Isn't Willy's Wonderland the same thing? In concept, yeah. It's not really the same thing. Like, it has the creatures and stuff, and it takes place in a confined location, but it's not really the same thing. It's supposed to be like that, though. But yeah,
is it supposed to be like kind of like Chuck E. Cheese or something with the animatronic animals?
It's supposed. So the VR version I played, I was stuck in a room and I was looking at the cameras, and the whole point was you were supposed to make sure they didn't get outside the room you were in, and you had to keep watching them and blocking the rooms.
Oh,
that's what you had to do. Now, how that's going to translate to a movie, I don't know.
Yeah, like what? Try to think of what story they can write for that.
I thought, yeah. I don't know. I thought this was a bad idea when this was greenlit. I was like, you're not going to make that work.
Yeah, I remember this being greenlit a while ago, and this is the first time I'm hearing of it again.
I'm not excited for this. Blumhouse. It's hard for me to get excited for anything related to Blumhouse.
What's the last good Blumhouse movie that was released? Was it Invisible Man? In 2020?
Might be.
I feel like they only have 2 genuinely good movies on their roster.
I'm tempted to say Megan, but Megan wasn't even that good.
Was that Blumhouse? That was Blumhouse. Okay.
That was definitely Blumhouse. I don't know. Blumhouse is kind of like M. Night Shyamalan. It's the epitome of hit or miss. It's I don't know. I'm not excited for this.
Freaky was good.
Freaky was good.
That's Blumhouse.
Yeah. But I'm not excited for this. I'm not excited for the fact that it's a trilogy. I'm not excited that they have the rights to The Exorcist. I think that's fucking awful. First of all, if you are sitting on this planet Earth and you think that The Exorcist should be a franchise, you need to have your head examined, respectfully, because that's worse than Terminator being a franchise.
Yeah, anything Blumhouse is associated with, I worry for it, especially like these big franchises. Like, just stay away from the franchises, man.
No,
like do the original stuff.
Junior Smile was Paramount.
Yeah, Smile was not Blumhouse.
I mean, if I didn't know it wasn't Blumhouse and you told me it was Blumhouse, I'd probably believe you. But then again, that movie's good, so I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't have believed you. But yeah, I'm done talking about this. I don't think this is going to be good at all. I guess I got to see footage, but I'm not interested in this at all. Speaking of horror, I Know What You Did Last Summer Legacy sequel announced. Who?
Let's get into it.
Who is asking for this? Now, granted, do we ask for anything in Hollywood? Hardly. 8 out of 10 times, no. I say 8 out of 10 times because, you know, I mean, we've been asking for the Batman 2 since March 1st. I mean, or March 4th. I mean, come on now. Mm-hmm. Do people not realize the type of movie I Know What You Did Last Summer is? I Know What You Did Last Summer is a horror movie that came out in 2000. I think.
98.
98.
Or 97.
The point is that movie is a staple of the time period it came out in. It came out in a time where horror movies were not very good. The 80s was the staple of horror. And after that, other than like Scream, New Nightmare,
Yeah.
So, well, no, not New Nightmare. I love New Nightmare. I'm just saying, in terms of horror movies, you know, you have, I can't tell you one 90s movie that I like from there, to be honest. Jason X is fucking terrible. I mean, come on now. It's, you know, it wasn't good. And then you get I Know What You Did Last Summer, which really isn't good, but it's very fine. You know, it's very cheesy and stupid and just dumb. Mm-hmm. And we get this announcement yesterday that Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. are coming back for I Know What You Did Last Summer Legacy sequel. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
They're in talks.
Probably the best 90s horror movie ever. I mean, legitimately.
Try to think
My bad. I forgot about that. No, there is none better. I'm sorry. Candyman is God tier, bro. You know, why? I don't understand. Are there people actually excited for this? Legitimately? I didn't see anybody repost this saying, man, I can't wait for this.
Yeah.
Anybody. There's normally always one. I didn't see anybody. What is the point? What is the point? I guarantee you. I don't know who owns this. I don't know who owns this franchise. I think it's MGM because they did the show. Amazon did the show. So if I'm willing to bet, it's them. MGM. It's either them or Sony because Sony made the original movie.
Was Sony on the second one too?
I think so because the second one is on Movies Anywhere, so it might be.
Okay.
I swear to God, if they make this movie and then announce more sequels for it, I will. The horror genre to me is one of the worst genres in Hollywood. I swear, because they will do the dumbest shit humanly possible to make money, and I mean the dumbest shit humanly possible. They will make not even horror. I'm making legacy sequels a subgenre. It has to be.
It's a subgenre now. At this point, it is.
Ever since The Force Awakens, it's just been a thing. And I get it. The Force Awakens made $1 billion. Everyone went fucking crazy for it. Yes. You know why they went crazy for it? Because it was actually good. And because people actually gave a shit about making that movie. When you make a legacy sequel just to make money and not give a shit about the story that you're making or writing, you're not going to succeed. The point showed with Halloween Ends, when that movie did not make as much as Universal thought it was going to make.
I mean, I think that was a lot of stuff going on with that. But yeah.
The legacy sequels are fucking atrocious. Now, there are some, obviously, Top Gun Maverick is one of the greatest movies ever made. But especially horror. Horror has been dominating legacy sequels lately. And I don't know why. Is it really that easy to be like, we made this movie 50 years ago. Hey, this person's not in a nursing home. Hey, you want to come back and make a couple millions of dollars real quick? We'll say that you didn't die in that one movie that we killed you off in and people were pissed off about it. You want to come back, make a couple $1 million? Sure. All right, come back. You tell your friends that were in that movie too. If they want to come back, they could come back too. The audience will eat that shit up. I hate legacy sequels and horror. I hate them. I know people don't like the new Texas Chainsaw movie that came out. I thought that movie was very dumb, but I liked it. But the absolute worst part of that movie was everything involving the legacy stuff with that movie. That character did not need to come back. First of all, that actress was fucking terrible in that movie. And she served no purpose in that movie but to fucking die in the dumbest way humanly possible. The legacy sequel to me is like the worst way to make money because it's so lazy. That's what gets me annoyed about it, is the fact that it's so easy to make money. Because you can just grab that one person that everyone loves and says, smack them on the fucking poster and be like, come see our movie. And they will do it. Scream proved that with flying colors. Twice. And the second time, they kind of failed at it because people were sick of it by that point. Even people that liked that movie, they were like, I did not need to see those characters again. Which I'm glad that Neve Campbell is not in this movie, despite people crying their tears that Sydney is not in this movie. I think that's great. As long as they kill Gale in this movie and keep Sydney out, I'm a happy camper.
I doubt that they're killing Gale, bro. I don't think they're gonna kill Gale.
I don't give a shit. They don't. I'm not surprised if they don't. If they do, good. But I'm not excited for this. That franchise is not memorable. Can you tell me anybody's name from that movie? We just watched it last night.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
Yes, we actually did watch it last night because this made us want to watch it. We actually watched this movie last night, and we cannot tell you anybody's names. And what are you going to do as a legacy sequel? What are you going to do? What story are you going to write? What, the fisherman had another son? Like,
the fisherman isn't actually dead?
He's fucking in his fisherman costume with a walker, fucking killing people with his fish hook. Like, I don't see a point
This
in this.
raincoat. This raincoat and
Like,
fish hook.
is there anyone excited for this? Legitimately, I hope this gets canceled. I hope this gets canceled. In a weird way, I want to see it get off the ground just so I can see what nonsense they come up with. You're not going to recapture what makes that movie even slightly special. You're not. That movie came out in an era where the era made that movie slightly special. You make that same style of movie in 2020, whenever, it's not going to work. It's not going to work, and people are not going to like it. Horror is at a point where we have moved past stupid, corny shit like Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer. Scream is my favorite movie of all time, but I know that shit is stupid and corny. We are past that. We have movies like Barbarian, where they're actually doing something crazy and insane, or It Follows, or fucking The Babadook. We have movies like that. The Witch, Hereditary, Midsommar. All of these movies that are in the horror genre that are actually doing important things. We are past the time in horror where we're just throwing a bunch of teenagers and adults in a movie and having them run around screaming their heads off getting chased by somebody with a knife. We are past that. And that's what Hollywood doesn't understand. We're past that point. Nobody cares about fucking Michael Myers anymore. Legitimately. But Halloween makes money. Yeah, it makes money because Michael Myers is one of the most notable killers ever made. Yes. But when you really look at those movies, does anyone really care? Does anyone really care? Legitimately. Most people like Halloween Ends because it's not really some maniac stalking people, killing people with a knife. That's kind of why I kind of like Halloween Ends in some aspects, because it's different. But I mean, come on, bro. We're past this. I'm not excited for this at all. We have original horror coming out, and then we're still getting shit like this. I'm more excited for the Five Nights at Freddy's shit than this, because at least I feel like that could be something cool and unique that we haven't seen before. This, it's going to be the same thing. What are you going to do different that we haven't seen before? It is a man in a raincoat with a coat hanger killing people. Chasing a much older Jennifer Love Hewitt and chasing a much older Freddie Prinze Jr. with other stupid, twerpy idiots. I'm not excited for this at all. Do you have any feelings on this? But I haven't.
I don't feel as passionately about it as you do, but I do feel like this is not a great idea. They tried it with the show to bring this franchise back, and
that was the other thing
it failed. Up. Yeah, it failed, and
miserably.
Now that they're bringing these legacy characters back, they think that it's going to work in film form, in a movie form. I don't know about that. It might get some butts and seats, but is it going to be a memorable and is it going to be worth it in the long run? And, as an entry in the horror community, an entry in the horror genre, I don't think so. Now, if they change some things up, if they write it differently, if they, give the, fisherman or whoever the killer is more weapons, if they're better kills, if it's just written differently, then yeah, it might be decent.
And keep in mind, the show had James Wan producing it.
Sometimes that hardly means anything when you don't have great writers. And
I feel like James Wan is pretty hands-on with the stuff he works on, though.
Usually he is, but I feel like that show just was kind of doomed to fail. Like it kind of was, from the get-go, doomed to fail. But I digress. I feel like this, if it gets a competent writer, competent director, it could be something. But for the most part, I'm not too excited for it.
Yeah. If you guys like I Know What You Did Last Summer and are kind of interested in this, if you guys feel the same way I do about this, let us know down below if you're watching this on the replay. And we're gonna move on to something that is new, and we might keep this, we might not. I don't know. I really like this idea, and it's a new section called "Recent First Time Watches." And this is something AJ proposed that we do, where we talk about movies that we have seen in the last week or two that we saw for the first time that we should talk about real quick.
Mhm.
So I guess I'll go first. A movie that I saw recently for the first time that I absolutely loved is The Transformers, the movie, which is the animated Transformers cartoon movie. Um, I have started my Transformers binge leading up to Rise of the Beast. And this was the only Transformers movie I didn't see. And it was awesome. I absolutely loved the animation. Um, the story was really cool. The action was great. The voice work is fantastic. The music is top notch, and it has a third act that made me want to run laps. It's good. I also saw M Night Shyamalan Ding Dong's new movie, uh, Knock at the Cabin, which I did not care for at all. I thought it was very boring, whack, uh, not very entertaining, and I was kind of ready for it to be over. And one more thing that I've been watching. First time I watched all the Rocky movies for the first time, and not to spoil my review series, but an overview is I really like the Rocky franchise. All of them are movies that I would say are decent to good to amazing. Um, and I saw Missing, which I haven't really talked about at all, other than grading it. But Missing was good. I liked Missing. For a movie I had no expectations for, I thought Missing was cool. There is a second slash third act twist that made me say "what the fuck" in the theater, literally, and it kind
In a
of
bad way or good way or bad way?
at first it was a bad way, but the way the movie plays out is fine, but it makes you question everything you watched for the past hour and a half. And it's like, well, what was the point of all that then? If you're just gonna do this,
Mhm.
um, not a bad movie. It's really good. Storm Reed is fantastic in it. But yeah, it was a nice little movie to see. Nice, good found footage movie, which is weird, or not found footage, but like computer, Skype, FaceTime, whatever movie. Yeah, that genre.
Technological footage movie.
Technological footage. It was good though. Um, AJ, give us three first time watches that you have watched recently,
Oh, three.
or however.
I was I was just gonna rapid fire
Oh,
some stuff. I watched Terminator 3, Salvation, Genesis, Dark Fate, because I'd seen the first two, but I hadn't seen the rest of them. Um, this franchise is probably the most confusing and strangest franchises I've ever witnessed in my life. Especially Genesis. I I I could talk all day about that franchise, but it's wild. It's weird. I kind of like it, kind of don't. I kind of
you don't
just
like that
embraced
movie,
it.
bro.
No, I'm talking about the franchise
Mm.
in itself. Like I kind of like the franchise.
Well, so
I
you don't
kind of
like
am.
Genesis? Get out of here with that, bro.
Genesis is an anomaly, bro. I watched a movie called Fear in the theater. It's the second film that I watched in this year. It was awful. Another one I watched was called Plus One. It's a romantic comedy starring Jack Quaid. It was actually pretty funny. I really enjoyed it. Um, I watched Tar.
Oh,
I might yeah. So I thought this movie was incredibly boring, but Kate Blanchett's performance was fantastic. Um, I watched the first two Magic Mike movies in preparation for Magic Mike 3. Um, kind of fun movies, man. I kind of enjoy them. You People I watched with Jonah Hill and Eddie Murphy. It's a cool little movie. Kind of funny. Shotgun Wedding I watched with Joe McHale and Jennifer Lopez. It wasn't great, but I kind of had some fun with it. And I watched the first Rocky. I loved it.
You definitely can't relate on that one. And by the way, I posted my Rocky review today. Go check that
Yeah.
out if you want to hear the total
Yes. Quick
opposite of
plug.
what AJ's review will be. But
Yes, it's gonna be
don't worry,
totally different.
the positivity gonna come tomorrow when we talk about Rocky 2. Cause
Nice.
all right, we'll probably bring this back. It was something that when AJ brought it to me, I was like, I like that. I like that. That's a good idea. But it is time to talk about what we are here to talk about. Keeping it chugging along, almost consistently. We had a hiccup last week or the week before, episode 2, whatever. The Last of Us episode 4 has arrived on HBO Max. This will be spoiler filled. If you have not seen it, get off this stream, go on HBO Max and watch The Last of Us. What are you doing with your life? Go watch The Last of Us. So, last week we had that incredible episode with Bill and Frank. So, this week we picked up with Joel and Ellie. They're driving away from Bill's sanctuary, which, I mean, in all honesty, if I was Joel, I'd be staying right there, bro. Like, my man's had everything.
You don't care about your brother, bro?
I mean, they got the radio there, though, right?
Yeah. So
they could call, make sure he alright, bro.
No.
Yo, make sure he
to abandon the whole trip.
No,
don't bring Ellie to the place.
Bro,
don't make a cure.
No, bro. Live up in the white people houses, bro. So the first scene in this episode, straight out of the game, word for word, scene for scene. And it's just, I said in my review, I was like, people who have never played the game must be looking at us very strangely when Ellie finds a dirty magazine and we just flip out and lose our shit. Like, I feel bad for you guys that you guys can't get hyped the way we do with this. You know, that scene was perfectly recaptured. It was hilarious. I don't need to go over that scene because if you played the game, you know the scene.
Why are the pages stuck together?
Even when she threw it out the window and she said the thing, I was like, so we get the scene that, okay, predictable can be a good and a bad thing in entertainment. AJ texted me when he finished it. It was like, we predicted this whole episode. And I was like, well, other than one thing, yeah. But, not a bad thing. Still great. You know, so I'm not gonna be mad about that. So we got the scene from the game where they're driving and they find the guy
pretends to be hurt,
and you know we get the scene. Oh, put your seatbelt on. You know, aren't you gonna help him? Oh, he's not even hurt, and you know he tries to attack him. So they crash in the bar, and Joel has to fight them off. And they tweaked this from the game, which I was okay with. I did like this touch. This is new that Joel said, "Oh, Ellie, get behind the wall and don't come out until I tell you," because Joel is getting closer to Ellie, and that is the thing that people need to keep an eye on. He is getting closer to Ellie. And this happened last week too, when he was like, "Oh, let me know, or don't go too far. I don't want you to see the plane or the burnt bodies or whatever." And it's the same thing. He doesn't want her to see this because she's a fucking kid. She doesn't need to see all this. So Joel takes out these guys, and one of them sneaks up on Joel, and then Ellie takes out her knife, and you know what I was thinking immediately? Spam square. Holding the gun. Square. I thought she was gonna stab him, and then she took out the gun really fast. I was like, oh, okay.
Gun that she found at Bill's.
And I guess she shot him in the ass. I think that's what happened.
I couldn't tell where she shot him at, but
I think that's where she shot him.
He didn't die instantaneously, so.
Yeah. And he couldn't move either.
Nah, he was like, I can't move.
Yeah.
He was talking a whole lot.
He was.
He was saying a whole lot of stuff.
I'm just gonna
like, I'm your friends. We could trade.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean, my man's was praying
begging
for
for
his
his
life.
life.
So Joel takes the knife from Ellie and says, "Get behind the wall again." I thought he was gonna torture him. Like I thought he was gonna straight torture him,
I
but no,
thought
he
so
just
too.
he just kills him. He's like,
He
okay.
shoots him.
And Joel isn't mad that she has the gun, which surprised me. I was expecting him to be like, "What the fuck are you doing with a gun?" But I guess his priority was getting out of there.
Mm-hmm.
So after
I mean,
this,
she saved his life, so
that
I guess
too.
he wouldn't be that mad.
Well, I don't know because there's points in the game where she does that, and he's like, "What are you doing?"
Hmm.
Um, so I think this is when they cut to our new character.
Yeah, I was gonna just talk about real quick
Mhm.
the relationship between Joel and Ellie. Like you could tell he has that internal struggle still with Sarah, and he doesn't want to get too close. He mentions earlier in the episode that you're just cargo, you're not family. I'm just doing what I need to do with you, so you can go about your way. But also, you see things that you mentioned, like get behind the door, you know, make sure you're safe, make sure he's getting close to her, and I love that internal struggle you can kind of see.
And I also like they're changing certain things from the game to this to make it that they get closer. And I do
Mm-hmm.
like that. They're
Mm-hmm.
they're honing in on their relationship a lot
The
more.
jokes.
That's so well, I skipped over that because that
Oh,
happens in the forest, right? They
she was doing it earlier in the episode too,
Yeah.
like even before they got on the road.
So we get the infamous joke book from Last of
Mm-hmm.
Us, and
Mm-hmm.
it's these jokes are terrible, but they're so fucking funny. And I love this is just good writing. In the beginning of this episode, Joel is like, "Shut up!" Like
Mm-hmm.
that's so stupid. And then we get to the end of the episode, and I'm like, "That's just fucking good writing." Um, so we cut to a new character who's made for this show.
Well,
Um,
it's a group of people. It was
yeah,
we cut, but yeah, she's the kind of the leader. I don't even know what her
she's
position
like
is.
a militia leader or something. I don't know. I guess we're gonna find out next week because she's gonna be in next week's episode a lot too.
You
So,
have a disdain for this character, I can already tell.
so we get this scene where this new character is talking to this doctor, and they're looking for Henry. That
Mm-hmm.
this whole like part was focused on Henry, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
that's interesting
I like that.
because I do too. I like that because I think in the first game, what was it? That Henry they were just they split up. Is that what it was? They got split up from their group and they were going back.
I think that's what it was for the game from the
I
game.
know it wasn't this.
No, it definitely wasn't this. He's actually important in this.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, we still don't know why they're going after Henry. We're
No,
gonna
we
find
don't.
out next week. But
But they are adamant.
yeah, and
They
I
got a
was like,
whole search group.
okay. Um, I did not really care for these scenes other than hearing about Henry. I was like, where is this going? And it ultimately goes nowhere. They just talk about like nonsense. And I'm like, I don't care about any of this. And then she just shoots the doctor in the head. And I was like, okay. And then we move away from that. And I don't think we see them for the rest of the episode. I could be
No,
wrong about that.
we don't. We don't.
Oh no, no. Yes, we do. We see them when they go in that room where they find that thing under the ground.
What did they
When
find?
when the ground moves,
Oh, okay.
when they find that thing, that
I must have missed that or something.
when they go in the room and the thing is caved in and it moves,
Oh, okay.
and we all know what's under there. And I
Mm-hmm.
squealed like a little girl because I knew what was coming out of there that we saw in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
So we cut back and basically Joel and Ellie they're just going through, stuff. I feel like I'm missing something in this episode because we're already about to be at the end of the episode. I feel like I'm missing something.
I don't think so. It wasn't a whole lot that
This
happened.
was the
It was short,
and
it wasn't as much happening.
you see, this is something that I kind of am taking issue with. Not a lot, but I am. I personally am not minding the long episodes in this show because the show has great pacing. The shorter episodes for me have suffered in the sense that they start and they go from point A to point Z. It feels super fast and it kind of feels like nothing happens in the sense that only really like one thing happened versus you get the first episode where so much happened and then you get the Bill episode where so much happened and we get these shorter episodes and I get why I understand why they made this episode so short because they wanted to get through this part to get to Henry because I feel like the part with Henry and Sam they're gonna do a lot different, you know. I'm kind of in a weird way. I kind of want them to be longer. Normally, when we get things really long, we're like shorten them, but this in this case, I'm like make it longer. I'm okay with it because you guys have shown me that you know how to pace yourselves. You don't have to go so fast. You can make it long.
Yeah, they're going a little bit quicker. And I think in the game where Ellie shoots the guy after he was trying to drown Joel, I think they're cutting that out and making the whole bar scene that scene where she shoots him. Because that's the first time she shot the gun and shot anyone in the game.
And that's the second instance where a big scene kind of just felt rushed. This wasn't as rushed as in the first episode when she was like, I'm infected. Yeah. That I was like, what?
Yeah, they were trying to go really quick with that.
This wasn't as rushed as that, but it kind of felt like that. And that's kind of a minor issue that I'm having is that these shorter episodes just feel like they're flying by and then they're like, okay, see you next week. You know, and I do feel like when we binge it, it's gonna be a lot better. Because I'm going through this shit again. I mean, come on. Who the fuck am I kidding?
Yeah.
You know, but I do feel like that's kind of an issue with a week to week thing is you can't. I feel like it's kind of inconsistent where you have the long episodes and then the short episodes that fly. You know, and I hope next week is a long episode because we got a lot to talk about, and we're already halfway through the season.
We're halfway through the season, and I feel like we're kind of halfway through the game too, where they're at when they meet Henry and Sam. Yeah,
and we haven't even gotten to Tommy yet.
Yeah, we haven't.
Which
but
I think
you don't get to Tommy until like kind of towards the end of the game.
Well, so. No, that's not true because you get to Tommy and then they go to the school and then Joel gets hurt and then it's winter and then it's spring. So that's a while. But it's not.
I'd say you'd be 3/4 of the way done with the game when you get to Tommy. Yeah. Because when Joel gets hurt, that's kind of towards the end.
That's definitely towards the end. As soon as you get to spring, you got like 2 hours of the game left. But I don't know. I kind of just wish they were all like over an hour long. You know, I complained about this with Stranger Things, but my thing was like, I didn't think they were going to fill it. That, you know, that season.
They were doing like, wasn't they doing like 2.5 hours and stuff for some of the episodes?
The finale, yeah. But this show has proven that you can make it hour and 15 and make it work, you know, so I was hoping for longer episodes, but I don't think they're gonna be longer. So
maybe the finale.
The finale, I could definitely see being really long. I don't know. We'll see how they improve that. So the ending of this episode was probably my favorite part. So they get to inside this building, and I love when they're climbing the stairs, and Ellie's making fun of him. He's like, "Oh, you're old," and he's like, "I'm 56." Fucking ass. Like that's funny. And then they get to go to sleep, and Ellie tells this joke from this fucking joke book that I couldn't breathe because it was so stupid, but it was so fucking funny. She says, what is she like? Oh, diarrhea is
Diarrhea.
genetic, or
Yeah,
it ru-
hereditary.
it runs through your genes.
It runs in your genes.
And I will bet any amount of money that Pedro Pascal's reaction to this was genuine. Because he starts off laughing and he chuckles, and then he just breaks down into laughter. I was like, there is no way that wasn't genuine. That had to be like the most genuine reaction to that. That was hilarious. And that made the whole episode. I was like, that was so fucking funny. And then the ending of the episode, I love how they do the little transitions too. Looks just like the game when they suddenly wake up. Ellie's got her hands up in the air. We all knew who was gonna show up.
Said Joel.
She's got a gun to her head, and of course it's Henry and Sam. Sam's got this like war paint or something on his face, which
Camouflage.
I think that's gonna lead into our new back. I think they're gonna have new backstories. I don't think they're gonna have the same backstories from the game.
I'm cool with that because I feel like these characters were a little shallow as far as their backstories. The characterization was deep, and I loved, what they did with them in the game. But their backstories and where they came from, who they really were, didn't really shine through in the game. So I'm ready for that. One thing I wanted to say, I did want to say something about the militia leader. Back that the people that were looking for Henry. I think I like this character a lot. Do I feel that she was miscast? Absolutely. I feel like this person that's portraying this character should have been a Marlene type of had a Marlene type of
I don't like
look.
her voice, bro.
Her voice, she's a Karen, bro. She's a Karen.
I don't like her voice.
She looks like a Karen.
She was speaking.
To your manager. That's the vibes I get from this person. Let me speak to your manager. So I wanted somebody that was kind of built, like a Marlene type of character that is intimidating. This person I just don't feel intimidated by, but she's shooting people in the head. And it's just not it's not convincing. So I think that's the biggest issue with this character. I do like the character. I just wish it was played by a different actress.
It's her voice. She was talking and I gave it like 5-10 minutes. I'm like, I don't like this character, bro.
I knew exactly what you meant when you said that.
I'm not totally writing her off. I'm just saying right now I don't like her, but I'm not saying she's garbage. No, hear me say that. It's just, we're going to get more for next week. So maybe when they reveal why they're going after Henry and all that, I'll,
growing you.
We also, we didn't talk about this scene. Probably my other favorite scene in the episode. They go into this room and they're like, oh, something is in here. And it's this like, it looks like a bomb went off or something, and they're staring at the hole and the rubble moves. And I said, oh shit, I knew exactly what was in that hole. I thought the episode was going to end with the bloater coming out of the thing, and I was like, yo, but if you saw the trailer, if you saw the trailer for next week,
I didn't see the trailer for next week.
You got the answer.
So I'm guessing it's the bloater.
I don't know if it's gonna be in the whole episode though. For all we know, that shot that they showed in the trailer could be the ending of next week's episode, which, by the way, will be airing this Friday instead of this Sunday because of the Super Bowl. But we will still be doing Nerd Talk on Tuesday because we will all be not all be watching the Super Bowl, but me and Alex will be watching the Super Bowl. I will definitely be watching the Super Bowl. So Nerd Talk will still be on Tuesday, and we will still cover that episode on Tuesday. We're not changing. If the Super Bowl wasn't on Sunday and they had just did this, probably would have came out here Sunday and talked about it. And that was episode 4 of The Last of Us. Another amazing episode of The Last of Us.
That's great.
This show is just incredible.
I was thinking this earlier. I would consider this movie a success, or this show a success. Even though we're only 4 episodes in, we've got enough to where I'm like, yeah, this is dope. The rest of the episodes are probably going to be amazing as well, really good. But even if they're not, I personally have enough to say this is a good show.
That finale is probably going to be one of the greatest episodes of television I ever watched.
I hope so. I hope they do it right. I hope they
You
do the
know we're going to be in
hospital
tears
right.
in that hospital, bro.
Yo, I hope they do the hospital scene right.
You know that scene where he decides to go save her, we're going to be like,
yeah, we're going to have
let's
the doctor
go!
with the scalpel.
Bro.
I wonder. Okay, I got a few things I want to say. Do you think they're gonna show Abby in this series in this
finale.
season at all? Like as a little kid?
The
You
finale.
think so?
I think they're
In
going to
the
show
finale?
her. I do.
Okay.
I definitely think they're going to tease The Last of Us 2 in some way, shape, or form. I don't think it's going to end the way the game ended, where she asks him, like, oh, was there a cure or something? And he was like, no.
Mm-hmm.
And it just ends. I don't think it's going to end like that. I think they're going to tease The Last of Us 2 somehow. I don't know how. Maybe they show, like, I don't think we ever found out her last name, but, like, they'll show a doctor's name tag. And we'll all be like, oh, whose name tag is that? And then we'll look it up. Oh, it's Abby's dad. Oh, that was Abby's dad.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely see them do something like that.
Yeah.
You know, but I do think they will tease it. And if they had some random actress show up once to play young Abby, even though we won't see them ever. Well, no, because in The Last of Us 2,
they show some flashbacks.
So maybe we will see her again. If they get some actress to play her, just so we can be like, oh my god, here we go, bro. Last of Us 2, bro.
That's what I was playing before the stream.
Yo, what if they do a scene where she goes to kill him with the golf club and then they bamboozle us and she doesn't kill him?
I could definitely see them doing that because I think they want Pedro Pascal in this series. I think that's
if they do that,
possibility.
That would be so funny. That'd be
that'd be kind of cool though to see what would happen with Joel still in the picture.
That'd be so funny
because we didn't get that in the game.
That'd be like the biggest fuck you to the people who actually like that they did that in that game.
That's very small amount of people.
I mean,
I don't think that many people.
You know me. I like the fact that they killed him. I didn't like how soon it happened.
Mm-hmm. The timeline of it.
My issue was never the fact that she killed him the way she did. The way she kills him is fine. Like that's definitely not my issue with it.
Mm-hmm.
But
what would you give this episode out of 5?
4.5.
Same here. 4.5.
4.5.
What brings it down that 1/2 a star? Was it the militia people?
The militia people, and what I was saying about the shortness of the episode, the fact that it felt like it was on fast forward, low key.
Okay.
But yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. I'm very excited for Friday. I need to stay off of Twitter Friday when I'm at work. But I'm very excited for Friday. I hope Friday is a banger. We're moving on to our final topic. Like I said, this is going to be a short nerd talk because nothing really came out this week. And if Last of Us hadn't come out, we would have been like, yeah, no, we're not doing nerd talk. But I want to not be behind, especially since next week is going to be a big show. So we are going to go into our favorite topic, the Blu-ray collection updates. AJ did not get anything, but I took a little trip to the best place on earth, Book Off.
Let's see it.
Some things. So the first thing I got, I didn't really get a lot to be honest, but I got some good stuff.
That looked like a little stack to me.
Like I said, I did get Wakanda Forever. It is at Best Buy. I gotta figure out when I can go get it. Because I'm working in school and all that. Pain in the neck.
First you just got one copy of it though. You only got the steelbook. Oh, okay.
First thing we got is Cars with a slip. One
Nice.
of the most underrated Pixar movies. I really like Cars. And I've watched this stream on Disney Plus, and it looks fucking phenomenal. So I can only imagine what this Blu-ray or the 4K looks like.
Man bought fan for stick.
Now let's show off the. First of all, this was $5, but I like this art a lot. This movie had great posters. I will say that. I always loved this poster, and I really like this teaser poster too. It's pretty cool. Um, and this was back when Target was doing these little digipacks, and it's not bad for $5.
Nope.
I got Fan Four Stick though.
Man, you got fan four stick before you got
in
the
a
other
weird way,
Fantastic Four movies.
in a weird way, I am looking forward to watching that movie again because I have been a little curious. I was like, wonder how I'll feel.
Mm-hmm.
We got this movie's more underrated than Cars is, to be honest. We got Monsters University with a slip factory sealed. I love this movie. I love this movie. Literally. Like, I'm not even joking. I love this movie. I think Monsters University is a great Pixar movie. Maybe it just might be nostalgia for the first Monsters Inc. I don't know. I really like this movie. I love the concept of it. I think it's very funny, very charming. The animation's gorgeous. And I remembered really, really liking it. I'm looking forward to watching it again. I bought this in preparation for Missing. I didn't watch it, but got searching. I'll check it out eventually. Maybe when Missing comes out, we'll do a double feature. We got Sin City. I bought this because I've always been intrigued by this movie. I know it's like a Frank Miller noir comic book style movie. And I know that people really like this one, so it was only like $4. Next, we got excuse me. We got a childhood favorite of mine, Rio with a slip, factory sealed. I love this slip; it's gorgeous. I remember really liking Rio. It's not high art. No, this isn't DreamWorks. It's not high art, but I remembered really liking it.
Yeah, I saw Rio in the theater, bro.
Me too. Next, we got one of the most underrated DCAU movies. You got Son of Batman with a slip. It's funny that I bought this after the DC news. This is what I want the Brave and the Bold movie to be. Beat for beat, panel for panel. If it's like this, I will not complain. We got one of my favorite DC animated movies of all time. We got Wonder Woman, the commemorative edition, whatever. I don't know, some weird edition.
That slip is raw, bro.
Yes, it is.
I've never seen that.
I love this movie, and this movie to me is my definitive Wonder Woman movie over the DC EU movie. I love this movie. This is my Wonder Woman. This movie did what Wonder Woman was a fucking badass. This is New 52 Wonder Woman, I think. Fucking badass. Ares is what Ares should have been in the movie, not some random German twerp that was just Ares hanging out. He was actually Ares killing people with fire and swords. It was awesome. I love this movie. This is what I wanted Wonder Woman to be.
Looking at that slip. Oh, you bought it. You got it on Blu-ray. Movie's not that bad, bro.
The train fight is good. The train fight is good.
Is dope.
I have all the X-Men movies physically now. What the fucking do? Now on to things that I'm actually happy about. We got Black Klansman 4K with a slip. I've always been intrigued by this movie. I hear people say it's really, really good. I love John David Washington as a actor, so I'm excited to check this out. I heard he's great in it, and I know this is directed by Spike Lee and produced by Jordan Peele. This is a Blumhouse movie, by the way.
Wow.
So, yeah,
Have you ever seen a Spike Lee film? You haven't seen a Spike Lee film yet. That'll be your first, probably. Okay.
No. I'll probably get
Do you
the
own
right
any
thing.
other ones?
No, I don't. We got one of my favorite zombie movies, Dawn of the Dead, The Scream Factory. This was a day -0, despite not actually getting it on day one. I couldn't get to Best Buy, but I did want this day one, but I got it week one. I love this slip. It looks gorgeous and a protector. And I love this movie. This is probably my favorite Zack Snyder movie. Yes, over a movie with Batman and Superman in it, and the entirety of the Justice League. Yes, this is my favorite Zack Snyder movie. I love this movie. I think it's awesome. It's one of my favorite zombie movies ever. The 4K looks pretty good. I'm excited to watch it again. I can't wait. And the last of my pickups, which sent everyone into a spasm, which I was like,
I need to see this.
We got Hook on 4K. What a slip.
Bro.
Which
you better never let me over, bro. Because
I guess
you're gonna be. Where's my hook with a slip?
No.
Bro.
He gonna take a picture of it on the plane. It would be like Jafar from Aladdin. No. Yeah, apparently this is like the rarest slip on the planet. I didn't know that. I always thought it was the Halloween, the original one. I thought that was like the rarest slip ever. Yeah, I got hooked. This was $15 too. What a slip.
Wonderful price for that.
I love Hook. I watched it last year for the first time on my 100 movies list. I love this movie. I think Dustin Hoffman as Captain Hook might be one of my favorite performances ever. He just embodied that character. And I love this movie. Rufio! Yeah, I'm very ecstatic to watch this movie again. And that is going to do it for this entry of Nerd Talk. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
You got you forgot one.
No, I didn't. I don't want to get the steelbook. It's mad work.
No, look behind you.
What? That's not new.
That's not new?
No.
You just got that.
No, I didn't. I showed that off last week.
Oh, last week. Oh, okay.
That's definitely not new. We're gonna get out of here though. Thank you to everyone who was here. Again, very short episode of Nerd Talk. Next week we will be back here doing Nerd Talk. It is going to be episode 50, and it is going to be the basically Super Bowl episode of Nerd Talk, where we cover all the Super Bowl trailers that we got, because this weekend is the Super Bowl. We already have 2 trailers confirmed: Transformers: Rise of the Beast and Fast X. So we'll definitely have those 2 trailers to talk about.
Hopefully Alex is with us next week.
Yes. Then we got Last of Us episode 5, which we will be covering in spoilery detail, and of course any other news stories, and hopefully a lot of Super Bowl trailers, because I want to get on here and talk about a lot of trailers. But yeah, that is gonna do it for this episode of Nerd Talk. You guys know where to find me. Minor Nerd Instagram. I posted my review for Last of Us episode 4. Check that out. Today I posted my first Rocky review, starting the Rocky review series. Going to be talking about Rocky 1 to Balboa, and then Creed 1 and 2, leading up to Creed 3 in March. Very, very excited. I also posted my review for Knock at the Cabin, concluding my M. Night Shyamalan review series. All those reviews are on my page right now. Go check that out. AJ, where can the people find you?
Man, it's been a blast being on Nerd Talk once again. I'm AJ of AJ Reacts 2, and you can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Letterboxd, Twitch, Serialized, AJ Reacts 2, all across the board, all one word. And what do I have coming? I have my Rocky reaction series coming, and my tentative dates for those are on my Instagram page. So Stay tuned for that. If anything changes, I will let you guys know on Instagram. And I am posting my reviews for the Paramore albums this week because the new album is dropping on Friday. So I'll be just dropping those reviews throughout the week. Next week, I'll be back on my 100 movies list for 2022. And yeah, so everything else is, kind of tentative at this time. But yeah, that's what I got going on.
All right. And I'm gonna plug Alex's stuff, being that it's his page. He just posted a new Blu-ray hunting review showing the Blu-ray hunting video, showing the Wakanda Forever new release, because that came out today. He got his steelbook. Go check that out if you haven't. If you guys like trailer reactions, movie reviews, Blu-ray hunting videos, and live streams, I'm trying to quote him the best I can. You are in the right place.
Doing a good job.
Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you on the next episode of Nerd Talk. Everyone, have a great night.